We're making superfood granola bars. And while I feel like many foods are great for us for different reasons, we are making these today because they have a few ingredients that frequently make the superfood list, such as flax seeds, walnuts, and chia seeds. Superfoods are those that are touted for being extra nutritious. They have tons of vitamins, antioxidants, fiber, fatty acids. So why not add them to our granola bars? These have mostly seeds and actually only a little bit of nuts. So you could even sub those out and make them completely nut-free, seeded granola superfood bars. So I'm going to show you how to make them. And if you are a fan of a lot of the quote unquote nutritious granola bars out there, throw them out and make these because these are actually nutritious. And I'm talking about Nutri-Grain Bars. Nutri-Grain. That's great marketing, but these are not healthy at all. Check out these ingredients. I don't even know where to start with these things. I just counted 40 ingredients. And these are not whole food ingredients. Many of these ingredients you could not even replicate in your house, which is not a good sign. There's so much wrong with this list of ingredients. The first ingredient is whole grain oats. And while that's good in a way, it's not totally good because it's not organic oats. And sadly, oats are on the list of foods that are highly sprayed with glyphosate. Take a look at this chart from the Environmental Working Group. It shows many of our favorite breakfast items that are unfortunately sprayed with glyphosate. And our strawberry Nutri-Grain bars make the list. The third ingredient is soybean oil. And unfortunately, soybeans are another crop that are highly sprayed with chemicals, such as glyphosate. And while soybean oil isn't completely bad, the other thing about it is it's higher in those omega-6s. And what studies are showing is our ratio of omega-6s to omega-3s is getting thrown off, and we're getting too many omega-6s, which is causing inflammation and chronic disease. So we really need to watch out for all of these highly processed foods that have all of these oils that are increasing our omega-6 levels. I could go on and on about this really insanely long list of ingredients for something that we're gonna make today that's gonna taste, I'm telling you, just as delicious with very few whole food real ingredients, but I'll stop there. Let's look at one more bar very quickly, I promise, and then we're gonna make these Kind bars. And while these also have a lovely, pleasant name, they're not the most nutritious. They're better than Nutri-Grain bars, but there's still things in them that I don't like. The second ingredient in these bars is cheap to produce and makes processed foods super sweet and satisfying, but it's not nutrient dense at all, which means you're just getting a bunch of super refined sugar that is actually way higher in calories than regular table sugar. In fact, consuming refined sugar regularly has been shown to increase things like heart disease, obesity, and poor dental health. And the second ingredient is sugar, so more sugar. We've got some soy lecithin in these, which is probably used as a flavor protector, and some natural flavors, which unfortunately are just very vague, and they can add lots of unknown things into natural flavors. So in general, if you can avoid a product that has natural flavors in it, do. A massive amount of these bars that are on the shelves are made of wheat, corn, and soy that's highly processed. In fact, a massive amount of what's in our grocery stores today, at least where I live in the US, is made of these highly processed foods that are just filled with sugar to make them highly palatable. So with that said, I'm gonna jump off that soapbox and get to making these bars that I feel like have really good nutrients in them, and you're gonna be eating the actual food with no additives and no hidden flavors. So the good thing about these bars is I've made the recipe pretty much thoughtless. All you're gonna do is take a cup of oats to start. Again, try to get oats that are not sprayed with glyphosate. So that means you're more likely to do better with organic if you can possibly afford it. And some oats now will even do testing and they'll write glyphosate free on the packaging. So after that cup of oats, we're just gonna put a half cup of all of these other ingredients. Half a cup of flax seeds, one of our superfoods. Half a cup of chia seeds. Half a cup of walnuts. I forgot to actually chop these up a little. That's what I usually do, but you can also just break them up with your hands. These are all unsalted. A half a cup of roasted unsalted sunflower seeds. a half a cup of unsweetened shredded coconut, and a half a cup of unroasted, unsalted pumpkin seeds. Then we're putting in a cup and a half of peanut butter. Feel free to substitute with almond butter or whatever you'd like. If you want to make this nut-free, put in sunflower seed butter or something like that. And if you do use peanut butter, make sure it's only made of peanuts and salt. Those are the only ingredients it should have in it. That's all you need. Half cup of maple syrup, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And give this a good mix. I don't generally put chocolate chips in these because they're just so good as is. I don't feel like they need anything else, but if you want, go ahead and fold in some chocolate chips as well. Now all you have to do is pack these into some sort of container. These are probably a 6x8, and then I just put them in the fridge for a little bit so they can harden. Once these have been in the fridge for about an hour, go ahead and cut them into bars. This makes about 10 to 12 bars. You can usually wiggle them out just fine, but if you want, you could put parchment paper underneath before you pack these in. Now we've got some delicious, nutritious granola bars, and you know exactly what's in them. If you want to eat your Nutri-Grain bars or your Kind bars, do so in moderation and know that they're for pleasure and they're not really a great source of nutrition. But these are, and they're delicious. You will not miss your store-bought bars anymore, unless of course for convenience, and I get that. But read the labels on whatever you buy. Make sure you know what's in them. Enjoy these. You should really make them. They're absolutely delicious. And on that note, remember to eat real food. I'll see you in the next video.